Nexigo have sent us their N970p 4K webcams through to review. We're going to be completely honest about it, so let's get into it and see what you can expect. Using a ring light in front of us and using the 4K resolution, and the first thing we notice is that the auto exposure seems to be doing a really good job with it not making us look washed out. The movement looks really good too, and it's the first 4K webcam that we've tested where it doesn't look really juddery when we're moving around like we've experienced on the budget 4K webcams. The actual picture quality also looks very good, and even if you use the 1080p rather than the 4K, then you're going to get a good quality image out of it. Getting rid of the ring light and using natural light coming in through the window, and we're still getting a good result from it. Obviously having the extra light is going to give you a much better result, but this still looks good. Movement is still great, and the colours are looking realistic, with the auto white balance seeming to do a very good job. I wouldn't recommend using this in a completely dark environment though. Whilst movement is still looking good, there is a lot of pixelation to the image, but with all cameras, always use some lighting on yourself. Focusing on a small object, and we're in focus until around 6 inches away. As this is a fixed lens, anything closer than that and you won't be able to get it into focus. Focusing on text and it will be the same result, so getting closer than 6 inches away will result in blurry text. But what you can do is use the digital zoom, which is available using the remote control, and this allows you to get closer and get a much better result than physically moving the webcam closer. Using some bright ring lights in front of us, and we begin to look washed out using the automatic settings. You can go into the options in something like OBS and untick the box for exposure and get yourself a great image, and you can use the slider to fine tune it. Or you can go even better than that and use the remote control and go to the exposure option and set it in there. This is a microphone test using the Nexigo N970p webcam. This is the kind of audio you can expect from the inbuilt microphone. Switching on a light behind ourselves, and the auto white balance adjusts to compensate for it, and it's more noticeable on our face that a change has occurred. You can manually configure the white balance if you wish, either by using the remote or inside software like OBS or Nexigo's own software. As the webcam comes with inbuilt flash memory, it means that whatever settings you configure will automatically save to the device itself. So if you unplug this and use it on a different computer, then your settings will be remembered. Removing a green screen in OBS, and it produced a really good result without needing to move any sliders. If you find that the field of view is too wide, then you can punch it in using the digital zoom. It's very difficult to spot differences between the 4K and the 1080p, but maybe you can see it. They do both look great though. There's loads of options which you can control using the remote. Fancy having the image in black and white? You can do that. Need the image flipping? That can be done too. The one useful feature which would be great if you need multiple people on the camera is the auto framing. This tracks you around and keeps you in the centre of the frame. It worked well on me, so I thought we'll put it to the test and get somebody else involved, and again it did a very good job with it adjusting quickly and accurately. When they walk out of the frame, it took a second or so, but it did reframe me. This is a range test using the inbuilt microphone. We are approximately around a foot or so away at the moment. Let's walk backwards and we'll continue to speak so you get yourself a bit of an idea of what the microphone sounds like. We're a fair distance away now. We're probably around 10-15 feet away. So if you can still hear us, then the microphone is doing a very, very good job. Let's come back to the front. When auto framing is enabled, then you can't manually adjust the digital zoom, so you will need to use either one or the other. And speaking of digital zoom, this can magnify 10 times, so you can get extremely close, but expect a loss in quality the more you zoom in. But it is very useful if you want to narrow that field of view. And once you are zoomed in, you can use the arrow keys on the remote to pan left and right of the image. The remote allows you to save presets too, so you can switch quickly from one saved field of view to another with the push of a button. Unfortunately, we found that the presets only allow saving of the digital zoom, so if you set up different picture profiles, then these don't get saved as a preset. As this is a fixed lens, the focus button on the remote doesn't do anything, but if you want to stop the camera from being active, then you can hit the power button and this will freeze on the last frame. Bear in mind that if you try to change settings using the remote during a call, then the person on the other end will also see that menu screen. You can enable backlight compensation too, but this is also available in the menu to turn it on and off. This is a premium quality webcam, and if you are looking to see other premium quality webcams in action, then be sure to hit the video on screen to check out the Elgato Facecam.